Welcome to the Raising Confident Girls podcast, your guide to raising strong, confident daughters. I'm Melissa Jones, the founder of Girls Positivity Club and a teacher for over 20 years. In a world where girls often feel overwhelmed, anxious, and confused, this podcast is your go-to space. As caregivers, we navigate challenges together. I founded Girls Positivity Club to provide a place where you belong and get the tools to face today's hurdles. Consider this your regular check-in with a trusted friend, offering insights and practical tips for meaningful conversations. I'm here to help you feel confident on this journey of raising a generation of empowered girls. Let's dive in and raise those confident girls together. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Raising Confident Girls. I am your host, Melissa Jones, and I'm so happy to be here with you today because we have a special guest who is making her second appearance. She's actually the only guest who's ever come back more than once. And I am talking about Ariana. She is the 14-year-old amazing girl who has been in GPC for 4+ years, and she is here with us to talk about an important topic. And before we get into that, to remind you, if you did not listen to her episode before, which you should go back and listen to, she is a crime junkie lover. She is an animal lover. She loves Lego. She's an honor roll student, an amazing, incredible girl. And I'm so happy to have you back on the show.
I'm loving it. I'm so excited I get to do this again.
Good. And her brother just brought her some food in, so yeah. Just
if I'm like secretly eating a little bit, then don't mind.
Which is hilarious. So Ariana, last time we had you on, you shared your story of growing through anxiety and learning challenges that you've had in your life, like just learning through challenges and also having learning challenges. Mm-hmm. And again, if you've not listened to that episode, please go back and do so. But today I want to talk about who you are and who we see today, the confident, grounded, like leader of a girl that you are today. And I know that wasn't something that came super naturally to you right away. So what would you say has changed the most in you as a leader?
I would definitely say just Girls Positivity Club in general, because I was very shy and I would not talk to anyone. I would sit in the corner at recess by myself. I was very just nervous, but the more I went to GPC, we did like a bunch of fun little activities and it made you feel like included. So then the more you feel included, the more happy you feel, I guess you could say, and the more confidence you earn. So I would definitely say the more confidence you get, the more leadership falls into it, because I'm definitely more of a leader now than I was when I was 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. So now I'm partaking in multiple conversations during class. I'm doing debates. Like, I'm doing all these different things that I'm so very happy and proud of. And it's just, you really learn how to develop your thinking of, oh, I'm so scared I can't do this, to, oh my God, I can't wait to do this. Mm-hmm. And it really changes you.
Yeah, I love what you said about like the more you learned about confidence and the more you were able to basically practice it in GPC, the better you were able to feel like you could be a leader. And I think growing your confidence is such a game changer in that.
It 100% is. Because I don't think I would be able to do these debates and all this leadership if I wasn't doing all these different things with you and with the club. It changed everything for me.
I'm so glad. What was something that, like, what made you feel like you could talk so positively about GPC? Like, I feel like you're an ambassador of what we do. Like, what makes you feel like so confident? And like, I didn't know you were going to say any of that, but like, what makes you automatically go to that or like feel like you want to talk about
because
that?
You can say like, oh, like I do all these things to help me, but the thing that like started what everything that like I've been building up to and everything that like I've become as a person is all because of GPC, and I always refer to it no matter what, because it helped me grow and develop into who I am now, which I wouldn't be who I am without it. So I feel gratitude and gratefulness just because of the years that I've done it. So I feel more of a sense of empowerment talking about it because I've had so much encouragement from it and I've learned so many different things.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. Like, that just warms my heart because that's the whole reason that I started this, and just to hear you, and like I said, I did not know what she was going to say. None of our guests are prepped for anything, and so thank you for loving it so much and recognizing that it had such a big impact on you. That's huge. That means everything.
I would not be where I am today without it, honestly. It has changed my life so much that I I wouldn't be able to imagine my life really. It would ugh.
Oh, well, what is something surprising that you have just learned in general about yourself and stepping into leadership roles? What was something surprising? You're like, I think about that time the girl at the softball field
Mhm.
that you talked through who was having, do you know what I'm talking about?
There's two different times.
Okay.
There's one where I had a conflict and I had to be the bigger person.
Mm.
And then I think the one you're talking about is when, so there was a girl on, I think, my team
Mm-hmm.
who was really struggling with different concepts of softball. And so I was like, okay, I'll help her out because that's what a teammate does. You help your players and you help your teammates because, well, they're your team. You
Yeah.
want to do good. So you want to be with, you're going to be all connected as one. So I'm over here helping her with batting, coaching her on. So whenever like she catches a pop fly or she throws the ball right or like she does certain things, I'm over here encouraging her instead of just like sitting there silent so she knows she did it right.
Mm.
And then it kind of like puts it into perspective for her, like, okay, I got this, I can do this. And then it kind of evens out through her confidence and then helping you know that you can help others.
Yeah. And what made you feel like you wanted to take on that role?
Honestly, because I saw myself, because I was always so terrified and I was so scared of doing anything because of the fear of what other people would think. And then the more you start to realize like what other people think, okay, that's their opinion. You don't have to follow somebody else's opinion is what kind of set that into stone for me.
Mm-hmm.
Where now I know, okay, I can do this, I don't really care. People can laugh, people don't have to. Go ahead. I'm happy, I'm having fun, I'm loving my life. It's kind of
Yeah.
it that's what puts everything into perspective.
It's amazing to me that you recognize that in yourself, like the level of self awareness that you had, and just the fact that you were able to recognize yourself in someone else is such a powerful thing. And I remember your mom texting me that you had helped a girl, and even she was talking about that the girl was that you noticed that she was having signs of anxiety, and that you were able to talk her through all of it, like just how to get through it. And she was like, it was such a proud, I don't even know if she told you that she sent me that text, but she was like, it was such a proud, like, mom moment to know that she knew how to talk her through basically an anxiety attack, or like, not an attack, but you know what I mean? Like when you get so overwhelmed with it, and recognizing that in someone else is so powerful. And just seeing yourself in someone else, I think that's the biggest act of service and like love that you can give someone as a friend is or as a teammate is like, oh, I see that they're struggling, I'm going to be the one that steps up, instead of just being like, oh, they're terrible, they're not good at blah blah blah, they're struggling, I'm glad I'm not like that. It's more like, wait a minute, I know what that feels like and I can help someone else. So I love that you thought that, like, in the moment.
It's definitely also she's become one of my closer friends that
Hmm.
I talk to all the time. She went to the GPC camps with me. Like she she is such an amazing person and I don't think I would have met such an amazing person if I hadn't have stepped in
Hmm.
and helped her. I'm not saying, oh, step in if you feel like anything's going on, no matter who it is. It's just step in when you feel like you can relate to them and when you can truly help them.
Yeah. I think that's really powerful. And I love that because, yeah, I mean, you changed her life. And as little as that may have seemed in the moment, like it made a big impact on her. And then also, as a leader yourself, like it also impacted your own confidence, and feeling like you can help other people is such a powerful thing to do. So I love that. What is something that you would say that you do regularly that helps you feel confident? You mentioned something before our interview, but I'm wondering, like, what are some things that you feel like you do all the time that maybe you don't even realize help you feel confident, or maybe you do? You're very self-aware, so you'll probably be able to name it straight away.
Honestly, I think it's probably the people I surround myself around, or just the fact that I don't care if people are talking bad about me, or if I don't care that I don't I care about other people's opinions, but I don't force their opinion to be my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because my best friend, she's the most amazing person ever. She's so outgoing. She's so like energetic and loud. She's the crazy best friend, basically. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
out there. She's the best, and I don't think I would have half the confidence if I didn't have her, because she
Mm.
brings me outside of my comfort zone. And she's like, "You can do this. Like you're fine. Like you got this. Come on," and like she does so much for me. And then also the fact that when I'm sitting in class and I don't know something, she's very rare for me because I love sitting there. I very rare opinion. I love school,
Which
and so
is
like when I'm
such a
sitting there,
turnaround.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's completely different. But honestly, it turned from being terrified to not knowing if I can even like raise my hand and say something to now I'm raising my hand to every question even if I get it wrong. And then when I
Mm.
get it wrong, I don't erase what I have. I make a little bubble to the side and explain why I'm wrong and then put the right answer. So that like when I go back, I can redo it and then next time I can change it. And it's so much better for your confidence because now I'm just like I can I can do this now. And then you get such joy and it's so amazing.
I think too that even you raising your hand in class when you're not exactly sure of the answer teaches other girls that they can do that too, because it's not that you want to be called on every time, or you're like a, what the kids say, like a pick me girl or anything like that. But, it's like you honestly want to be called on whether you're right or wrong. And I love that you are reflecting even on, okay, noted, it's wrong, but now I'm going to know, because so many girls are afraid to even raise their hand if they're not 100% sure. And when I was teaching, I did a poll one time where I just was like, how many of you only raise your hand if you 100% know the answer? And then I noted to myself, like, how many girls? Every girl.
Mm.
Pretty much. I mean, maybe there was one or two that were like you, where they're like, nah, I mean, I'll raise my hand regardless. Most of them would never even raise their hand unless they were positive. So, have you always been that way? Or like, what made you change into like this whole thing where you're like, actually, I am okay either way. I'm just going to make a note to myself because I learned from my mistakes. And like, that's leadership in itself too, is showing other girls that that's possible, and just knowing in yourself that that's okay.
Honestly, it's a mixture of one, like I said, not really caring about what other people's opinion is about you. And then also, I've been kindergarten through like fifth, sixth grade. I was
Mm-hmm.
terrified to raise my hand. I was one of those girls that would sit in the back of the class in a
Mm-hmm.
corner and I would only raise my hand if I knew the answer exactly.
Yeah.
And that was very rare. It's like people, like when they'd hear me talk, they'd be like, she can talk.
Yeah.
And so, because I was always terrified of like, what if I get it wrong? People look at me like, it was always a what will they think? What will they think? What will he think? What will she think? Instead of what do I think?
Mm-hmm.
Hiccup. Oh. It's more about what you think more than anything. So I started to put that into my mind around 7th grade, which definitely helped. 7th grade, I was still kind of eh. I was in like the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
room more. It's like where like you can still raise your hand, have a little bit more confidence, but I'm also like not raising my hand at every question.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely it changes because now I'm just like I my hands are like this all the time because I'm like I
But what
either know it,
shifted?
I don't know. It's
Yes.
completely gone from back of the class corner to dead middle of the class. Like I've flipped so much, and to me, it's incredible. But also, I'm like terrified for myself because I'm like, how could somebody change that much in that amount of time? Like it's crazy to me how just like little clubs that can be so small, like started off with 10 girls, can become a huge organization to also help boot. Oh, my cat help boost you and so many other people to be amazing, and it's I love it, and I think it's amazing. I can't put it into words on how it just like changes you, and
So
ugh,
do you think it all just clicked at 7th grade because you had been in it for so long and it just all of a sudden clicked and you're like, I'm just gonna do it? Or like, was there a moment where you're like, because even adults struggle with what will people think? And I'm not gonna lie, like there have been moments where even as an adult, like even posting something, like, are they gonna think I'm bragging if I post about this? Or is it gonna come across this way or that way? And then I'm like, no, this is to help people. And I just have to keep coming back to myself and being like, what am I doing this for? Am I doing this to be like, oh, look at me? Or am I doing this to be like, no, if this helps one person, I'm doing it. And so, not just about posting on social media, but like, would you say everything just clicked in 7th grade, or was it like a moment you had, or what was it that like all of a sudden just clicked for you?
honestly, it wasn't even 7th grade. It was about the middle of this year, freshman year, that I was
Oh,
like, okay, I can do this. So
mm-hmm,
I ended up having 2 surgeries, and they were some pretty big deal surgeries. It was
mm-hmm,
really hard on my body, and I was really close to just giving up and being like, okay, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just gonna sit in the back of the class again. But then I was sitting over here like, but I like being this outgoing person. I like doing all these things.
mm-hmm,
So the more I was sitting there just laying in a hospital bed because I can't do anything, and I look like trash. I'm in sweatpants, a hoodie, my hair's up in a messy bun. Like I look like the worst thing that could possibly have happened. And I'm just sitting here like, if the people from my school were to show up right now, what would I think?
mm,
And I started to think to myself, like, I'd be terrified. I'd feel horrible. But then I also put into perspective, why would I care? Because I'm going through something,
mm-hmm,
and it puts into perspective the more like you go through stuff. Like, there's no reason for me to care about what they think, even when like you are older. Because I know there's many people who are
mm-hmm,
terrified of what other people think.
yeah,
If you put into your perspective, why should I care about what they think? If you can get 5 things, then okay, maybe you should care. But if you can't even think of one thing that you should care, then there's no reason to worry about their other people's opinion. Because if you can't list 5 things, 5 things is a good amount to be like, okay, this is too much. Like, there's pretty good evidence. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. But
mm,
if you're at like 1 or 2, go for it. There's no
mm-hmm,
reason not to push yourself and do so many other amazing things when you're just sitting there crawled up in your shell.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's a great test. Like I've never thought about like how many things because the first one or two things might just be your fear showing up of like being
Mm-hmm.
afraid and wanting to maybe not step out of your comfort zone. Like you said, we had talked before about a little bit about you stepping out of your comfort zone. And so what are some ways that you feel like that you have stepped out of your comfort zone that have helped you feel more confident in leading leading by example, because we talk a lot in Girls Positivity Club about leading by example. Like, leaders don't have to be loud. They don't have to be a certain way. They can lead by showing kindness to others. They can lead by raising their hand in class. They can lead by a lot of different things, trying something new. So it doesn't always have to be the person standing at the front of the class who's considered a leader. It can be someone like you who you're a leader in multiple ways, but mostly because of you'll step out of your comfort zone. You are willing to raise your hand. You are willing to say, I don't care what other people think. So what are some ways that you've like surprised yourself when you stepped out of your comfort zone and then you're like, oh, I feel really good about this. And I feel like, yeah, this is the right thing to do. And it's showing others how to lead too.
Probably one of the biggest thing that stands out is during APC, which is our weightlifting class that we have at school. It's not mandatory. You can do it on your own. I love it. It brings me so much joy just to lift. So my teacher, he picks one person every day to say, like, let's go dogs, because that's our mascot, and we leave. So one day he picked me because I was doing certain things right and he was proud of me. And so I was like terrified. Like, I can't do this. I can't, like, I'm not going to do this in front of all these seniors and juniors and sophomores and freshmen.
Yeah.
Like, my whole high school is right here. I can't do that. And so I do it. I suck it up. I do it. Nobody cares. They're like, great job. And then they leave. Like, it's nobody sits there and thinks about it for hours. Like, oh, she did this wrong. Oh, she did this wrong. Oh, she could have done this. Oh, why'd she do it this way? The more you think about it, they're just trying to get out of that class, go to their next class, finish off the day, go home, or go to work. They're trying to get done. So it just, you have to think about when you're doing something, why should I care? Why should you care? What would set me back if they cared? What would make me feel like, why should I feel something about their opinion when I can't change that? Which was definitely hard, because I was always like, I can't do this. I like, what about them? Like, what about them? What about them? And then I was like, but it's their opinion. I can't change their opinion.
Yep.
There's no reason for me to try and change their opinion. So when you change, it makes you feel so much better by not, oh, I can't change their opinion. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's more of the, I can do this. I can do this because I don't care about that. I can do this because that doesn't matter as much. I can do this because of this. It changes your mindset once you say, I can. It really does help. Instead of, I can't.
Yes, you are your own best cheerleader. And I think that that mindset is so important because you believe what you tell yourself. And even thinking to yourself, like you can say, I can, I can. Another thing you can do too, and I know you do this, but just for the listeners, is to teach your daughter how to cheer herself on in third person like she would a best friend. So anytime, I have very rarely, when I've said this to girls, have they not been able to do it. And it's really putting it in perspective of being like, what would you say to your best friend if she were in this position? And most of the time, if they can't do it, they just need a little bit of help getting started. But most of the time they can, because it's so much easier to think of like someone you care about, or like, what would you say to your mom if she was having a tough, time at work and she just needed a little encouragement? Like, or your brother or whoever, like you can always think of it like that. So even just to tell your daughters and the girls in your life to think of it as in third person. Like I say to myself all the time, Melissa, you can do this. You've got this. Melissa, keep going. And I didn't realize it was a whole strategy until I listened to this psychologist on another podcast, but I was like, okay, that's really a thing. There's like a whole bunch of research around it. Like, I can do this. You're telling yourself, like, I can do this. And then also when you need it, like, come on, Ariana, come on, you've got this. And both are good because it's like you're being your own cheerleader, your own coach, your own best friend. And then, yeah, just saying it in different ways. So that self-talk is so important. And you're right. No one really cares about what other people do because they're too busy worrying about what they're doing. And, we think so much sometimes about especially growing up and your age, it's like the spotlight effect where you feel like there's a spotlight on you at all times. Like you even saying go dogs. To you, it was this whole thing. You were like panicking in your mind, and probably no one even noticed it because they were just thinking about putting their hands in and like who's going to be the person to say it. Like you said, it took 3 seconds. You said go dogs. Everybody was like, made their noise and then went about their day because no one actually cared. And sometimes we can think this big thing in our mind, like, will I be squeaky when I say it? Will I say it wrong? Will it be weird? Will it blah, 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 blah? And then it's like, you do it. And like you did, you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone. And then it was like, oh, that actually wasn't even that bad. And then you would be more likely to do it another time because it's like, that was actually nothing. And so then maybe that builds your confidence to raise your hand in your next period class, or the next time volunteer to be the go dogs person, or whatever the case would be the one to, when the coach is like, who could demonstrate this type of blah, blah, blah. And you could be like, I could do it. Even if you know that you could miss the ball or you could mess up, like you're still always showing up even if it isn't perfect. And I think that's super, super powerful.
100%. Because if you're constantly thinking and saying to yourself, I have to, I care about what other people think. I have to care about what other people think. I have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You start putting into your mind all of these negative thoughts that can end up draining you of all of these positive things like, oh, you're amazing. Oh, you've got this. All of these other different things that can damage you and your personality and who you are, while you're also trying to make sure that you're also not worrying about yourself. And so then you're sitting there like, I haven't done this today for myself. I haven't done this today for myself. Instead of, I got to do this for myself today. I got to do this for myself today. It changes from, I didn't get to do anything to, I got to do all of these different things just by not caring about what other people think of you.
And focusing on the good, like looking for the good. Because I think, you can dwell about, and there are people that do that. They like dwell on what they can't do or what they didn't get to do. And they have this like victim mindset, but really it's all about, and you can have opinions about it and you can feel like something was unfair. That's normal. But like what I hear you saying is, care about what people think to a point of like not being a jerk, to where you're like, I'm going to say whatever I feel like, even if it hurts people's feelings. I know you're not saying that because you're a very kind and caring person. You're just saying like, don't get frozen and stuck and feel like you can't do anything because you're afraid of what other people think of you. Like still do the thing, even if it isn't perfect. Still try the thing, even if you don't get it right the first time, and tell yourself not the negative things, but like the things that did go well. And those, what I hear you saying, are what build your confidence and feeling like you can show others how to lead in that way.
Yeah, it definitely changes your mindset from understanding that, like, okay, we got this too. We got this. Like, just like the way you think about it and like the way you say it can change. Just saying, like, we got this. We got this. Like, saying it just like without actually feeling like you can changes everything. But when you're like, we got this, like when you put empathy into it and like you actually feel that, it 100% changes. And you feel so much better as a person when you end up accomplishing whatever it is that you were thinking about doing.
Totally agree. What would you say to a girl or to a parent of a girl who has a daughter who maybe isn't quite sure of herself yet, but she wants to try leading in some way? What would you say if she's like in that in between where she's like, I'm not quite sure, but I want to try? What would you say to that person or that parent of the person, of the girl?
I would say either the girl or the parent could tell them, like, join like a class or like a club, like if you're able to join like a class or club that goes a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but also like some people in that club, or like you bring
Mm-hmm.
somebody with you
Mm-hmm.
to the club so that you can still have like your safe person, but you're also getting to know more people and you're doing different activities instead of just sitting there like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You're actually focusing on the different aspects of responsibility, communication, leadership, time management. Like you're learning all of these different skills just from trying one new thing, and it verges all into one. So then you end up becoming more independent, more responsible, more of a leader. It forms like a tree. There's little roots that keep you connected with your people, but then the more you branch out, the more you learn, the more you develop, the bigger the tree gets, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps you understand that you can do what you set your mind to, obviously, but also knowing that you can do what you think you can, and you can be a leader. You can do some of these different things. It's just a matter of trying little by little, like trying a class or a club.
Mm-hmm. I love that. What would you say to a girl who's maybe starting GPC and she feels too shy to speak like you did in the beginning? Or any kind of a club or anything, but because you've been in GPC, like what would you say to someone, yeah, who just feels too shy to speak? Or
Honestly,
even in class. It could be in class. Like they feel too shy to speak in
yeah,
class. Like what would you say?
you definitely get scared when you're sitting there like, what do I say? What if I say something wrong? I would try and talk to the teacher for one, like communicate more with the teacher, like let her get to know you, because
Mm,
then she can also try and pair you up, like when you do group work or something, like, oh hey, like you would be good partners with them, partner with them, and then it can help you branch out. Or like if you're in a club, talk to some of the older girls in the club. I know that's
mm,
terrifying.
mm-hmm,
It's absolutely the scariest thing you could go through at such a young age. But the older girls, they are so sweet because they've been in your position,
mm-hmm,
and they're just sitting there like, yeah, we can help you, or yeah, we can talk to you, like, blah, blah, blah. We can help you learn the ropes of everything. And it helps you develop a sense of like knowing who you want to be and having an idea of how to get there. Because then
mm-hmm.
you're going out a little bit more of your comfort zone and learning different things and taking new experiences, and then branching out to different people, different experiences, doing all these different things that can then help you to where you're just sitting in a room and you don't know anyone, and you're like, oh, I should probably talk to these people, like introduce myself, and you're ready for it because you've done so many different things.
Mm-hmm. So do you think the first thing that I think that's great advice. Do you think the first thing they should do is like ask for help or introduce themselves? Or what do you think would be the easiest first thing to say? Like
I
it
think
might be Mhm.
the easiest thing would be like talking to somebody there, introducing yourself to them, and then like kind of starting like little conversations like, do you like animals? Oh, what animals do
Mhm.
you like? Like
Mhm.
starting little conversations that lead into, yeah, I'm doing this weekend, or oh, I'm doing this. Like we should do this together, and it leads to different
Mhm.
friendships that can then merge into a bigger friendship or help develop friendships later on. It's so much easier just to start like introducing yourself to people and then having those little conversations.
Yeah, like points of interest. Like
Yeah.
do you like animals or what's your favorite animal? Something like that and then you get more used to it. Or I've told girls before like start with a compliment like, "Oh, I
Hmm.
like your shirt." And then obviously that's not going to be a deep conversation. It's going to be like, "Thank you," but then maybe it opens up um it maybe if they're doing a drawing or something in a creative activity, they like comment on their drawing like, "I really like how you did that. Do you think you could maybe show me how. So something that's like a bridge of getting them, and even just practicing those simple things, like you were saying, of like getting to know people in a way that feels safe. Even if it's just one girl to start, and then you start getting comfortable with that girl, and then maybe that girl becomes a safe person, and then you're asking maybe an older girl for help, or you're asking questions, or you're asking the teacher, and like just, I think putting in the repetition of practicing, like building that muscle of just saying something to people, even if it's, I like dogs. Even if it sounds random to start. Um, if it's a nice person, like they're gonna be like, "Oh, me too. I have 2 dogs," and then they'll, my dog's names are this and that. What are your dog's names? And like you said, then that starts to spark something, and that can end up sparking a conversation. And like one of my best friends that I met in middle school, um, I just remember her turning around to me in like a language arts class and saying something random like that. And then we just like hit it off. And then before long, we were talking and walking in the hall together. And then it developed, and we've been friends for 35 years. So it's like you never know who you're going to meet where. And so I love that. I love those little steps that you gave. What is a moment, if you can think back, or like even recently, what is a moment when you're like, you realized you were a role model? When you're like, because when I think of you, I think role model. And I hope you see that in yourself. I think you do. What was a moment that you're like, yeah, I am a role model? Or have you ever thought that?
I definitely have. It started when you did the summer camps, and I was the oldest girl there, and so I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of sitting there like, I don't really know anybody here, but I'm still gonna help these girls. So I'm helping you do all these different things. We learned not to do tie dye inside. We learned so many different things, and then
Yep.
that was a hot mess.
Yes.
But you
Yes, it
definitely
was.
learn more when you're trying to help littler girls, or when you're just sitting there like, and then a little girl doesn't know how to tie her shoe. You're like, can I help you? Like, do you need some
Mm-hmm.
help? Like, you just ask, like, do you need help? It's a lot easier to ask than just to sit there and stare, because then they get nervous and then they don't know what to do. So when you ask, like, hey, do you need help? It then branches out to different friendships, which would respond to the last
Mm-hmm.
topic. It helps
Yeah.
you to like group with different people,
Mm-hmm.
and then it leads you to being responsible and caring, like just knowing, oh, we have yawns today. Oh, it helps you to know the different concepts of different people. So you know how to talk to
Mm-hmm.
different people, you know how to help different people and respond to different people. It helps you express different things. But then when it comes to being responsible about it, you're not like, oh, if somebody's having a rough day with English and they're not good at English, you don't have to say like, I'm so good at English. Like, I don't, like, you don't have to try and brag to them, because you know, like, they struggle with it, or you know that it's scary to them. You can try and put those pieces together and then use that to help them responsibly and help them become responsible with time management, organization, all of the different things. And it honestly, it merges into one, especially with GPC. You just kind of like, you learn how to help people, you learn how to be respectful, responsible. Like it all merges into one. Like, you become such an amazing person just by learning different life skills that you wouldn't think you'd already know, and it's so amazing.
Well, I'm glad that was such a bridge for you, because I think helping people is so good. And especially when you think of, I mean, there's always going to be a younger person than anybody. Like, even if someone's in kindergarten, they can help with a baby. Or even if they're have a younger sibling, or any age. I mean, there's always going to be someone younger than you. So maybe it's like you said, at a camp, or at a club, or at church, or at a like sports event. Like, there can be anyone. And even if it's as simple as if it's a young child, for example, like, and then they see someone younger who needs help, like you said, tying their shoe, or they drop something, or they're whatever it would be, they just need help with something, like just being helpful is such a great way to feel like a role model. And I think that's such a simple thing that we can teach girls at any age. So I'm glad you took that away. And I'm glad that that was the first thing that came to mind, because that's really good. Um, what's something that your mom or dad or someone else in your life did that really helped you feel supported? So let's start with your parents. Like, what has your mom or dad done for you that made you feel like just super supported?
My mom definitely. I feel supportive with my parents always. They're always so amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
I think little things that stand out is when like my dad, well, I'll come home one day and like I'll hit max on bench, like I'll do certain things, and he gets really proud of me, and then I feel supported by him just being like, "You did great. I'm very proud of you. Like you did so good. That's really good." Blah blah blah. And then with my mom, it's trying new recipes or just like sitting in the car on our way to baseball. We're talking, we're doing a bunch of random things, and I bring up, "Oh, I was able to do this." She's like, "Oh, tell me about it." And then you're like, "Oh, we can do all these different things just by having a tiny little conversation." It brings you so much support and love, and you just feel so much better when you're sitting there like with people that you care about and you love. You're just you feel so much better about yourself when you
Mm-hmm.
have somebody that's there to support you. If it's a parent, a teacher, grandparent, friend,
Mm-hmm.
anyone can support you. It's a matter of how you take their support.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I hear you saying too is that they see you, like your dad noticing those things, even if I would just know that even if you didn't make the max bench thing and like your arms were shaking and you were like doing it as hard as you could, I could see him even saying like, you did amazing, like you almost did it, and like
Yeah.
even just encouraging. And so what I hear there is he sees you and he names it, like he calls it out, like the good he sees in you. And I think so many people can take that for granted, like, oh, they know, but you have to actually hear it to just be reminded. And your parents doing that for you is so powerful. And then what I hear you saying about your mom is that she's interested, like she's actually genuinely interested in your life. And just by saying, tell me about it, and letting you talk without giving you advice or interrupting, I'm sure that that makes you feel really heard and listened to and important in that moment when you're just on your way to baseball, or there's something about a car, isn't it? Like it's
The
such an
cars, you have
easy,
the best conversations in a car.
yes, it's so true. What do you think it is? Because I hear this from parents all the time. They're like, we had the deepest conversation in the car, like on the way to something. What do you think is the magic about the car? I have my own ideas, but I want to hear what
I
in your
think it might be the fact that like you know that the conversation can end, so like if you don't want to get too deep into it, you can change the conversation maybe.
hmm.
But honestly, I think it's just a different atmosphere. So you're not like sitting and you can't go do other things. You're stuck in one place, and like you don't have to talk to them, but
Hmm.
like it's more fun when you do talk to them or play games. Like you get to know a person more,
Hmm.
and it's I don't know. A car is just the best place to talk. It's a talking place. I don't. There's like
Do you
no
think
way
it
around it.
Do you think too it's because you're sitting beside each other instead of like standing in front of each other, or because you're moving, or it's just
Yes, that. I didn't even think about that. That's because like you're typically sitting like across from each other,
hmm.
or you're not like
It
you're
feels
standing
different.
up. But when you're sitting next to somebody, it 100% feels different.
Hmm. It feels easier
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to like be face to face and staring, and not that anyone would intimidate you. And I know you have a very comfortable relationship with both your parents, but there is something about even when you're in the back seat, like it just feels private, or it just feels
Mm-hmm.
easier to say things. And sometimes you just say things you're like, oh, I didn't know I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Hmm. And you're also going somewhere, so like you said, if you want it to end, it can, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. And then yeah, and it can be light and not feel like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish that parents knew about what girls need to hear or feel from them? So, just thinking in general about what do you wish parents knew about what girls need to hear or feel?
I think definitely the fact that, like, when, like, your parent, like, my dad, sometimes, like, he means this out of the love in his heart. I'll walk down in sweatpants and a hoodie, and he'll call me a hobo. Because, honestly, I'm in sweatpants, a hoodie, my hair's up, like, I look ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't care. But then when I come downstairs in a nice outfit, he's like, oh, look who's not a hobo. And, like, he'll say all these different things, and it depends on the connection you have with your family. So, like, my
Yeah.
dad, we joke around all the time. It's always joke, 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 joke. And so I definitely think the more you understand the person, the more you can conversate with them and learn what, like, a daughter needs to hear or a friend needs to hear. So, like, my
Mm-hmm.
friend Sarah.
It's okay. You can say her name.
Okay, my friend Sarah, I love her to death. She's my best friend in the whole world. She's my crazy, out of everywhere best friend. I know that I can be serious with her, or when we hang out, we can sit on the bed, watch our own phones, or watch something on the TV, and have the best time ever. Because we
Mm-hmm.
know what each other needs. Like, we don't have to talk to them. We don't have
Yes.
to do different things. It's more of just, like, how comfortable you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the key points of helping a girl know what they want to hear is knowing who they are as a person.
Mm. And what would you say if because what I hear you saying is like with your dad, you have a jokey relationship and then he knows how to compliment you or make you feel like it's okay if you look a certain way or you don't. Like there's a level of comfort where you know that you're accepted no matter what you look like.
Yeah.
And then like you need that from him to know that he's not going to criticize you for looking like a hobo or not. And that's your inside joke. But there's a level of support there that he's letting you know that, yes, you're joking, but he also says you're beautiful no matter what. And that you can you can acknowledge things like that. And with your friend Sarah, it sounds like there's a level of comfort because you know each other so well and you've talked about so many things that you get each other.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say about your mom? What do you wish that moms knew about what their girls really need to hear or feel from them? So your dad is like acceptance no matter what. Your
Mm-hmm.
friend is like just knowing you in a deep way and knowing what kind of friend to show up as. That's what I hear you saying. What about your mom?
My mom would definitely be, we get into little fights all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, like, at the end of the day, we love each other. And then it's mainly when, like, it's been a rough day, and, like, for a mother to be, like, just to, like, understand what you're going through and, like, sit there and be like, it's a-okay. It's okay for what you're going through. Like, let's not yell at me next time, but, like, I, it's, it'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sit here, relax, it'll be okay. Like,
Like your safe person, like your safe
yeah,
space.
it's
Mm-hmm.
more of just like you need somebody there to just sit with you, not even talk, just sit with you and hold you and make you feel like nothing else is gonna come at you or change something. It's the fact that you're there in the moment and you're not really worried about, like, oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if this happens? You're worried about,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want her to let go, or I want her to stay right here. I don't want to move for an hour. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to sit here and lay with my mom. And that's definitely what changes. So, like, when I'm having a rough day, I'm like, can we just lay down and watch a movie? And so we'll go
Yeah.
lay down and watch a movie. And it brings you joy because you're like, somebody's there. You know somebody's there. They're not going to run away. And
Yep.
you know who that person is deep down. And you know that you can trust your mom with anything. I know. I love my mom. I
Mm-hmm.
love her so much. I don't tell her this a lot because I feel like, oh, she knows. But I truly love my mom so much for how much grief I give her. She's the best thing that could have ever happened. Like, she's the best thing ever in my life.
Mm-hmm.
She brings me so much joy and happiness and love. And she's so caring. And she's the best transfer. Like, she'll transfer me to places. She's the best Uber you could ever have. I love my Uber. She's like my own
Mm-hmm.
personal Uber. And I love sitting in there having our little car talks.
Yep.
But it's mainly just knowing that your mom is there. Not what they're saying, is
Mm-hmm.
that they're there. They're sitting there with you, and that you know that they can't go away.
Yeah. And I think that as girls, like even as an adult girl, as a woman, I think that even saying that to our moms once in a while really helps because, we try and be as moms, like we try and say that as much as we can. And also, sometimes you do get busy and you forget to say it. And I think you even saying that to your mom, and now she's going to hear it on the podcast. She's probably going to cry. But yeah, just remembering to say that to each other. I think whether you're the daughter or you're the parent or the person who wants to have positive impact on a girl, just saying those things that you feel like are a given and being like, I'm super proud of you, or I love you, and thank you for being my personal Uber, or whatever it is. um, and thanks for always making me smile, Dad, whenever I, and look a mess and you make a joke out of it and it's fun. So, whatever that would be for that person, like just saying it every once in a while, even if you know they know, is a very powerful way to lead and love too.
It definitely changes you.
Yeah.
The more like you understand a person.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. To close out, I'm going to do a couple of fun questions. What would you say is your hype song before a big moment right now? Do you have like a hype song that you would play if you're like getting ready to go do something that you need a little courage? Is there something that like a song that you think of or?
Lately, I've been very, like, this is a very old song for me. Like, Party in the USA. It's like, I don't know what it is.
Miley Cyrus. Yeah, it's a
I don't know
classic.
what it is. It's just, lately, it's just like, that's been something that's like, oh, I need to get pumped up. I need to, like, go. I'll put my headphones in. I'll listen to her song. I don't know why. It's one of the most random
motivational
songs.
song. Yeah.
I love it.
It's about not giving up.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there like, like I'm sitting there humming to myself. My mom's like, what are you listening to? I'm like, I'm listening to Party in the USA. And she's like, oh, okay. Because that song is like from forever ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still sitting over here, word for word singing it. And I sing it like when we're in the car or something, like driving somewhere. I'm sitting there screaming it out the window of the lyrics. Because it's just such a pump up song. And I truly love that song.
Yeah. And I love that. Like, and it has a positive message. And I think it's important for people to have a hype song and mine changes. I think depends on the day. Sometimes I need a different message than others, but music can be such a powerful thing for people. And I think that's a really fun thing to think about. I love that yours is Party in the USA. What is one thing that you're really proud of lately?
Probably we just did max outs for weightlifting. Yeah. And I'm really proud of myself because I had a surgery at the beginning of our semester, so I wasn't able to max out the first time. And I felt very insecure because I was very low down in the ranking. But then I started working more with my parents and like doing all these different things. And I was able to hit 110 on bench, which for me is a lot. I was so proud of myself.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I could barely do the bar. Yeah. Barely. I was like dying. Like, it's so hard. And now I'm over here like, oh, this is like a balloon. There's nothing there. And it brings me so much joy to know that like I was able to get 110. And that gives me to next year. I'm like, I'm gonna hit I don't know, like 130 or something like that. Like the way I'm like, okay, I can grow, I can get better at this, I can do this. It puts so much perspective into my mind that I can do something.
Yeah. Especially when you do something you didn't know you could do. And then you're like, oh, I can do more now. What would you tell the version of you from 4 years ago? So that'd be 8, 7, 6, 5th grader. Okay. Think of yourself as your 5th grader self. What would you tell her if she could see you now? Like, what would you say to her? What would be your advice?
Push through. It gets better. Because before freshman year, I was okay with life. I liked it. It was okay. but I wasn't in the best mindset. Like, it wasn't the best time I could ever have. But freshman year started, and it became like a wrecking ball full of fun things. I love my freshman year. It's definitely changed my life so much. So definitely keep going, keep trying, don't give up. Like, it sounds so basic, but honestly, if I would have stopped and quit everything when I was in 5th grade, I wouldn't be here in this moment. Like, I wouldn't be able to be doing this because I'd still be so terrified to do anything.
Yeah. And it's learning all the things along the way, like all the lessons you've learned along the way. And I think that's what makes you an incredible leader, is like when you go through hard things and when you are learning mindset things and you're trying, you're in it and you're figuring it out and you're testing it out and you have supportive people around you and you keep going and you keep going and you keep putting into practice what you've learned, then it all clicks. And now for you, freshman year, it just all came together. And I can't wait for you to just continue to grow and do amazing things. Is there any last wisdom that you'd like to share with anybody listening?
Definitely don't give up. Talk to your daughters or whoever you want to like hear or understand something. It's not about giving up or not about, oh, I can't do this. It's about your own mindset and knowing that you have your own back and knowing that you as a person is one of the most amazing things ever. And you are truly a remarkable person. And knowing that yourself, like people telling you that, okay. But then when you know it yourself, it changes everything for you. Because then you're like, it truly sets in that it's real and that you believe it. And it becomes such an amazing confidence booster. And it brings you so much light and joy knowing that, okay, I can do this, or okay, I have this, I'm amazing at this, or I'm beautiful because of this, or this, or this. Because you put more confidence into yourself as a person than into other people's thoughts of like worrying about what other people think, or worrying that you can't do something, or wanting somebody to say this about you because you don't feel the same. It's definitely about your own mindset and how you portray yourself.
Great advice. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so happy to have you. And don't worry if you're like, I just cannot get enough of Ariana. She will be back. We agreed, I think, that you're going to come back monthly, at least. So that'll be amazing. And she'll have a different topic each month. So thank you for listening today. And, Ariana had so much wisdom. And this is what I love, is for you to hear it straight from the mouth of a 14-year-old girl who has been through things, and she has come out on the other side, and she is just continuing to thrive and grow. And I hope that you can just take one thing that you can try with your daughter this week. That is the intention. And the biggest compliment that you could give is to share this show with any parent or caregiver that you think it would help. Or since this is a girl talking, maybe this is an episode that your daughter could actually listen to with you. And that would be a great car ride thing to do. And then you could have a little conversation about it at the end. And until next time, keep raising those confident girls. You've got this. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining another empowering episode of the Raising Confident Girls podcast. Share today's insights with caregivers and friends, building beautiful relationships with strong girls. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're not just a podcast, we're a community. Follow Girls Positivity Club on social media for more empowering content on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. This podcast empowers you, supporting incredible girls. Let's create strong, beautiful relationships with the girls in our lives. I appreciate you listening today. Stay confident, stay connected. Until next time, keep raising those confident girls. You've got this.